Good morning. Happy end of 2019. This is our year-end closing episode of our podcast, Conscious Coffee, where my spiritual partner, Jesse, and we talk about mindfulness and spirituality and the universe and 3D and 5D and astral projecting and all the crazy things that go with mindful conversation.
Yes.
So, hi. Hope you had an amazing 2019, as amazing as we did. We had an amazing year.
We did.
We thought this would be a good time for this podcast to talk about 2020, visualizing what's 2020 going to look like for you. What's your next level version of yourself going to be for 2020? And we thought we'd talk a little bit about our next level versions of ourselves, how we what we mean by next level self, next level version of ourselves, because we talk about that all the time in our relationship. So there we go. Why don't we get into it? If you like what we're talking about, subscribe, click the little notification to stay up to date. If you're looking for coaching, spiritual coaching, mindfulness, dating coaching, check out Jessie. She's a writer. She has her spiritual blog over at rebelhippiesoul.com. And I'm Tim Welch, and I have an online presence with Selfless Awakening. And if the website's not up by the time you see this video, Selfless Awakening website will be coming soon too. So here we go. All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's talk about next level.
Yes.
NLJ and NLT. We like to make
everything
next level. Yeah, you abbreviate everything. That's kind of our acronyms.
Everything's an acronym with him.
Yes, that's right.
Yes, next level version of yourself, I think, is, basically just the way of saying that we're constantly being called towards expansion. The nature of the universe is one of expansion.
Right.
So what that means is that, where our higher self, our spirit, is always calling us to step into our purpose more fully and to really become to become the fullest expression of ourselves. And so what that entails is releasing fears, healing traumas, pursuing our passion projects, loving more fully, opening our hearts. And so, I think that often when people think about resolutions or goal setting, I think a lot of that work is from ego. Whereas the way that I think about next level version, it's more about what is my spirit calling me to do? Because and who is my spirit calling me to be? Because very often I find for me that the next level version of Jessie, a lot of it isn't so much about making a plan of things I'm going to do.
Right.
A lot of my work is, what fears can I release? How can I be more loving?
Right.
Like, how can I show up more in a more present way? So it's thinking not just about what you want to do, but who your spirit is calling you to step into.
Right. Yeah. And so much of these changes that we make start inside. They start in the visualization first. And when I think about next level self, what it is for me really, I think about a year and a half ago, I was visualizing this version of myself, which I've stepped into now, more of the comfortable in the leadership role with the business, routines of sort of physical care, like my workout routine, the cardio, like there were things that I was seeing, like in my mind's eye. I would meditate and visualize this new version of me, this kind of updated version of me. And not only of course, the external aspects of that, like you would visualize, I would actually see me maybe different ways, different places, looking different, behaving in certain ways. Like there is the actual physical world visualizing of your next level self. But then there's that internal, the next level Tim wouldn't be so scattered or something. Or the next level Tim is more focused and more the next level Tim is more aware of allowing the universe to plan the schedule for him for the next of the things to work on next. Like it's as much of a seeing it in your mind's eye, seeing yourself in places, seeing yourself dressing away, seeing your body being the way you want it to be, seeing your job, the physical things go the way they want to, and also seeing the internal you next level as well, your things you want to do with
Right.
personality.
Right, because when you become the person who would have and do those things, you then manifest those things.
Yeah.
So, for example, if, let's say, you're single, and I use this example because a lot of the clients I work with are single and they're hoping to manifest love.
Right.
And if they want to manifest a relationship, really think about, with the next level version of themselves, would someone who has a relationship, a loving, emotionally mature relationship, would they be the sort of person who's confident, or would they be the sort of person who's insecure?
Right.
Someone who has a relationship, would they be the sort of person who's jealous and always worried that their partner is gonna leave them, or would they be the sort of person who's nonchalant and trusting and not frantic if their partner goes to the other room?
Right.
It's like really seeing what vibration you're stepping into, you know? And I know for me, for example, one of the sort of next level version qualities that I've been seeing, that I think I've been hopefully I've been manifesting.
You have been.
Is pardon me. I've been really noticing that I don't care so much about what other people think.
Yeah.
And I feel, I feel next level Jessie is very much surrendered into the present moment. And she's very much surrendered into the idea of, I'm showing up fully and present and from a place of love, and whatever I do and say, my mind wants to replay a lot of conversations. It wants to go toward insecurity. Was that okay? Should I have sent that newsletter? How did that coaching go? And it's like, no, next level version is not replaying conversations.
Right.
She's not caring what other people's response to something I put out is. So it's really thinking about who you're being called to be.
Yeah.
What is the fullest expression of you?
Right.
And I think so often too, we get caught up in material stuff. We get caught up in things we want to manifest.
Right.
And I think part of this work is really thinking about who we are becoming, because if you focus on who you are becoming, the manifestations will follow.
Yeah, and that's one of those laws of the universe, one of those metaphysical laws, that if you want to shift if you want to manifest a different life experience, you need to have a different internal experience first, and then the external world follows suit. Like, that's straight up law of attraction 101 type stuff there. Yeah.
So maybe you want to manifest I'm sorry to interrupt you. Maybe you want to manifest like a leadership role.
Right.
A promotion, for example. Like, how can you step into the vibration of being a leader?
Right.
That's the next level version of you. Maybe you're not yet a leader at your work. Can you be a leader at your spiritual community center?
Right.
Can you be a leader within your family? Can you be a leader, can you have the energy? Can you carry the energy of being a leader with you everywhere you go?
Right.
And then the world will present opportunities for you to lead when you show up as a leader.
Yeah.
The opportunities, the universe will present opportunities for you to love when you are the sort of person who extends love to everyone you meet.
Right.
The universe will present opportunities for abundance when you feel abundant
Abundance,
and like
yeah.
you're not lacking anything. So
Right.
it's, it's the manifestation is always second to the energy alignment.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And so I guess there's a question. What are some of, let's get personal. What are some of our,
Next
what's
level.
NLT, NLJ going to be for 2020? Let's put that out
We're
there.
going to use a lot more acronyms.
A lot more acronyms.
And
Yes.
and also for us, because we're in a spiritual partnership as well, what does our relationship, what does our
Yeah.
next level
What's next
relationship
level? Right.
really, and that's a good one, thinking about your relationships as well.
Mm-hmm.
I would say what's NLJ next level? I think surrendering more. I know that 2020, my word of the year is surrender.
Mm-hmm.
And I really have been embodying that in the past month. I've been surrendering to the present moment. Just continually, when I find resistance surfacing, I've been thinking in my mind, this is what life has for me in this moment. And I'm not resisting it.
That's a good one.
I've also been stepping more and more, I'd say, into the role of someone who talks about relationships on, in video form on my
Yeah.
website. I started off really writing about it, and I, started writing articles and blogging, and then
Right.
that went to working with clients and doing Conscious Coffee with you. Conscious
Yep.
Coffee's new, so that's
Yep.
the next level evolution of us, is us doing this show. And I think something that we've both spoken about is even just quality. Like, really, we've been
Yeah.
focused on things we do having the utmost quality. So if we do a video, improving the quality. I think we've had a more of a
Get it out.
yeah,
Just get the
yeah,
message out.
yeah.
Is this the best shot we can get? I don't know. Just go
Just
for it.
do
Is this
it,
the best
right.
audio? Just go
Right.
for it. But yeah, we've just made it work, and that had been the right thing at the time, for us to do that. It was about us just getting this going, and now we're at a place where this is going. So now it's next level, and that's a big one. That's a big one for me for sure. Is is the increasing the quality of content capturing of the content better, like where we are here now, and the audio, getting it to the next level of accessibility for people with everything, not only for me with Selfless Awakening, with our stuff together, but also for Tim Welch Vocal Studio. So those of you that don't know, I'm a vocal instructor, and I have a school for singing and a business that we're expanding and moving into new locations and new areas. And I feel a real pull with everything I'm doing online with content creating to just next level it, get the better shot, get the lighting really good, get the audio great, get better load-ins to videos, That's been a big one for me. Also, you can speak about next level self on multiple levels. Like, you can speak about it from a physical body standpoint. What do you want to do with your body? You can speak about it from an overall health standpoint, your eating, activities, relationships. Every one of these areas we can go next level in, So I think about, for the business, for the singing business, it's expansion. Like, we grew 20% 2017, 20% 2018, 30% 2019. I'm thinking 40% 2020. Like, how about that? That's next level. Next level for me with body. Like, 2019 has been a year of shedding. It's about in the joyful love of us getting together. I let my belly go a lot.
He tries to put this on our relationship.
It's her. Well, when you're not out there, going on these. You're not conquest dating anymore. It seemed, in my mind, I was like, oh, I found somebody. I don't have to take care of my body anymore. That's not the gift you give your partner. letting yourself go.
I love you anyway. I love you any way you come.
Well, but it was good. 2019 was good for me in that way. I did a lot of cardio. I got in shape. I feel great. And the next step is muscle mass. I'm going to add on. I want to get stronger, which is so important. And I know it is for men and for women that we lose muscle mass as we grow. For men, it's a big topic for men because of the way men, though it is in our culture. But I know for me, I do want to maintain strength as I continue to evolve. I'm not going to say get older. I just said it. Oh, well. How you language things is so important, by the way. That's something I think about all the time. And that's something that we're careful with each other when we speak of, like, it's easy to try to say things in a manifesting energy, but you language it wrong, and then it comes out being the opposite of manifesting. But that's a tangent I don't think we'll go on right now. Let me get back to, and are there any more things I can think about that I want to really throw out there? Okay, yes, stretching. I haven't been stretching, more physical body stuff. I'd like to get back into more of a yoga routine. Another one for me, 2020, Next Level Tim. Next Level Tim's going to figure out what to do with his arm. I had an injury a few years ago that hasn't fully recovered, a nerve injury that I'm making a commitment to get to the bottom of, to take care of. And I don't know, do you have any other next level NLJs you can think about that you're going to be putting out there?
Next level for me?
Yeah.
I think just for me, a lot of it is state of being.
Yeah.
I can really see, for me, I think what the universe has been showing me is, for me, it's about getting out of my own way. Yeah. Is that, I can really get into a flow when I'm in a state where I'm observing my ego, but I'm not listening to it, and I'm really present, and I really can get into a flow state where I feel like life is easy and I'm having fun and I feel really light, and our relationship is thriving and our friendships are thriving, and I feel, I feel very, very spontaneous and in the moment. And then there are times when my ego jumps in and it throws a little tantrum. And so, I think really just for me, Next Level Jessie is less about Jessie and more about that surrendered state of, what does the universe want for me? Yeah. What is the universe's plan for me? And really tapping into my intuitive guidance and listening, because when I do that, things always work out. And when I
did that last year. I'm trying something new this year.
your ego. Next Level Tim has it all figured out.
I surrendered to intuitive guidance last year. I don't need it this year.
Next Level Tim knows everything.
Yes. No, it's so true. Yeah, I mean, really the reality is pretty much the name of the game is catch yourself, like you wake up in every moment and surrender every one of them to intuitive guidance. That's really, like, there really is no podcast to be had here. Pretty much that's all we like, if we're to really speak the spiritual truth of it, it's like,
and like, also that's,
I know, but that's there's so much more to it than that. But that is absolutely the simplicity of, if things ever get too complicated, like that's always the thing to do, is to come back to the simplicity of surrender. Like, I love, surrendering everything to intuitive guidance.
Well, I think about Next Level Self also as another way to not get stagnant. And I think about this, and I do this sort of work with clients where, we get so used to doing the same things, perceiving situations the same way, believing the same thoughts, dressing the same way, decorating our houses the same way, being a certain level of cleanliness, being a certain level of fit. We get stuck in patterns. We get stuck in a sense of identity. And, it's like, and I was talking with a client who, she actually had a little bit of resistance to the idea of Next Level Self, because she felt that maybe there was some feeling that she wasn't okay in her present self. And, and the way that I explained it to her and the way that I think about it is, let's pretend, like let's take this Jessie ego. Jessie as a person is a fairly feminine. I enjoy feminine things like makeup and hair, and in the world of form, if I have this idea that Jessie's ego likes to, put on makeup and do her hair in the morning, that might stop me from, let's say if I was invited to an outdoor camping trip for 10 days, I might think, wait a minute, that, where am I going to sleep? Where am I going to get ready in the morning? Let's just pretend. I don't think I would, but let's just say that might come up. It's continually asking yourself, is that who I was 5 years ago? Is that who I was 10 years ago? And is that who I still am today? Yeah. It's like so often we tell ourselves stories like, I'm a shy person. I don't like public speaking. I don't like adventure. Right. I'm not a leader. We place these restrictions on ourselves because of who we were, who we've been our whole life.
Unexamined.
And
that's where, this is again, inventory work. Like this is where having an awareness of the patterns that we live from, that are automated, that are happening. It's like that's a huge part of the awakening experience, is the becoming present to these old versions of ourselves, this old operating software.
And I believe too that you can create your life from ego, and there's a life that your spirit wants you to have. Right. So very often when we're younger, we go to school and we study and we get a job that we think the world wants us to have because we get good money, our parents are happy. We marry the sort of person that life tells us is a good match for us. We set up a life from ego, and then you wake up. And you realize sometimes the life you have, you start to look around and say, does the me today want this job? Does the me today want this relationship? Does the me today want these friends? Right. Does the me today want these hobbies? So it's a continual shedding of the old and a continual invitation to the new. Yep. What does the awakened you want? Because as you awaken, you start to discover that you're not who you thought you were. You're not your parents. You're not the conditioned mind.
And zoomed out, you realize you're not even a person.
Of course.
Like that's the, depending on so much of this experience, so much of the spiritual stuff we talk about, I think about this, and we talk about this part of it all the time, that it's all about where you're talking from, Zoomed out, we are no one. Zoomed out, we're everything. We're no one and everything. Zoomed in a little more, we're a vibrational being. Zoomed in a little bit more, we think we are a person. Yes. Zoomed in a little more, we are this body. And when this body goes, we go. Like, there's so many different places you can identify in this human experience. And it's like, when we talk about next level self, we're really talking not about the zoomed out, I'm sitting on a rock blissed out in the flow of the understanding that I am the universe and one. We're not actually talking there. We're talking personality level. We're talking avatar level of the experience. And that's, so it's really kind of like avatar updates. It's like if this were a video game, your next level self are your upgrades. You collected, you got your experience points for the year. I'm going to go spend my upgrades. What I'm going to have? I'm going to build up this. I'm going to have more magic skills. I'm going to, whatever.
Well, I think about it too as you're getting more in alignment with who your higher self is. So next level Jessie is even more generous. Next level Jessie, it's like the next level version of you is in even more alignment with the higher self. Right. Is even more in alignment with your purpose for being here. Is in even more alignment with your soul's the calling of your soul. Right. If you are an artist in your soul and you're working a 9-to-5 job and you spend half an hour a week on your art, next level version you maybe spends 5 hours a week on your art, or maybe
Right.
next level version gets a job where you can spend more time making art.
Yeah.
It's like you're aligning with your soul
Right.
more and more. It's like these subtle shifts, and the real, I think the name of the game is eventually stepping into the fullest
Yeah.
expression of you, who
Right.
your soul came here to be, not who your ego wants to be. It's not about fitting in the world of form
Right.
and getting more things, but like, why are you here? What really fills
It
your
could be
soul
about
with joy?
stuff too, a little bit.
It could be
I mean,
about
physical world
stuff,
things.
right? It's nice, of
Right.
course. You want to manifest a nice house, you want to manifest a nice car,
Right.
but I think it's really like, what are you being called
Right.
to? It's a calling.
And so much of it, in the ways that it's felt most effective for me to experiment and play with this, has been integration into my meditation practice in the morning. Like, what I'll do is I'll get still. I'll do my usual morning stuff. I usually start off listening to the voice in the head, allowing it to talk. Then it's a matter of breathing and minimizing identification with the voice in the head. Then it's a shutting down of the voice in the head. Then it's gratitude work. Like, that's kind of my process. And in the great time to do next level self visualization is after you've gotten through after the mind is quieted a bit, after there's a sense of peaceful identification. Because from that state of being met, according to all the brainwave stuff out there, check out Joe Dispenza on brainwaves and how your brainwaves change when you're meditating. And you're in a more receptive state to manifest when you're in a deep identification of self part of your meditation. So you get into this deep, I would get into this deep meditating place, and then visualize me stepping into this. Visualize just the life of this other me. Watch him walk around. What's he look like? What's he doing? How's he thinking? I imagine him interacting with other people, driving the car. You just kind of see it all. We don't have time. Oh, good. Yeah. I just visualize myself kind of as that person. And it works almost the same way any other law of attraction type visualizing works, where you feel gratitude for something already having manifested in your life. So I would just imagine how grateful I am to be this next level Tim. And for me, a lot of it over the years that I've played with has been leadership stuff. As the business has been expanding, the shift of my avatar, my role has been from, artist voice teacher to artist voice teacher, leader of a business, leader of a group of people that are all moving forward on a common vision. And that's a new role that's one of the ways this next level self was one of the ways that I really got confident in stepping into this role with the business, which is really working. It really has worked. And I feel comfortable as a leader now, which is new, which really is new.
Yeah.
But it's now just a part of my avatar now,
Right.
that this is what I
Yeah.
do.
What happens when you do the next level work of tuning in, listening to spirit, visualizing, and then taking the steps that comes up when you do the inner work that you feel called to do, whatever those steps are, is that you find at first you feel you're kind of faking it a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
let's say the next level you, for example, is way more confident. So at first you're kind of putting on, like, maybe you buy an outfit you normally wouldn't wear, and you put on your nice shoes and you're walking, like, pretending you're confident. But when you pretend and you visualize for a certain amount of time, eventually you become that person.
Yeah. It feels like pretend
It feels
until
like
you believe
pretend.
it.
Exactly. So there's
Yeah.
a period of pretend, and then you become the person.
Yeah.
Like, you pretend enough.
And don't and something really important excuse me, that I think about with this, don't be afraid to pretend.
Right. Oh, yes.
Like this whole authentic self stuff. I did a video about this on the channel a while back about don't worry about being your authentic self per se. And what I meant by that is there are so many different versions of ourselves we can be. Like, you don't have to be one personality type. You don't have to, you are authentically who you are in every moment. Like you are an expression of human self. You are, so whether you're deciding to present this way or present that way, like, be okay with going for it. And if you're even like, and anytime you try something new for the first time and you really put on a new skin, or you've got a new coat that you're like, this is who I'm going to be this year. And you put it on, you're like, oh. Then you walk into a room, the first room you walk into with this new coat on, you kind of wonder if everyone thinks you are this person. Like, am I pulling it off?
You feel like a fraud.
Is this coat wearing me, or am I wearing the coat? Am I a fraud for wearing this coat? No, the reality is it's new wiring.
That's right.
You know, and anytime you're doing something new, it's something I experience all the time with voice students. You know, people that are experienced singing pop styles of music, the first time they sing opera, they feel like they're posing, like they're a poser, they're faking it. It's not who they really are. Well, but the reality is they're just not used to singing that way. And once they get used to it, they realize, oh, this is just another skill set. Mm-hmm. Okay, I can do this too. But in the beginning of putting on a new skin, there's always a little bit of uncomfortableness that you have to walk through and be okay with as part of it, you know? So, oh yeah, okay, I think we're getting close on our time. Anything else we want to say to wrap it up with our next level self-talk? We didn't get to next level relationship talk, but maybe that's for another podcast.
Video. Yeah. Well, I would say give it a shot. Have fun. Do some journaling. Do some visualizing.
Write it out.
Visualizing.
Yeah. Right. Write it out.
It's really about inviting the universe to mold you, and inviting it's an invitation to change, an invitation to play, an invitation, we have one lifetime.
Yep.
You can cultivate any quality within yourself. You can do anything you want to do. There's no limitation. There's no block to becoming the person you feel called to be.
Right.
It's just from a place of play, from a place of invitation, and from a place of freedom. There's a great freedom in I don't have to be who I was yesterday. Right. Who am I going to be in 2020?
Yeah, who are you going to be in 2020?
Let us know.
Think about it. Yeah, leave a comment.
Tell us.
Who are you going to be? What do you want to do with 2020? How do you want to see yourself? And my encouragement would be, write out some points, write out some things, and don't limit it. It could write internal things, external things. And then once you have this list, read it every day for a couple weeks, and then in your morning meditating, and if you're not meditating in the morning, start doing that. And then visualize, just after you, like I said earlier, just visualize after you've meditated these aspects of yourself, just playing with them. Like you're just playing with outfits in a store. You're just getting excited about seeing them. Just do that experiment. And
work with a coach.
Yeah. So there you go.
I'm not a plug for me, but I'm saying in general, work with a coach, or
it's hard to see it all yourself.
It's hard to see it all yourself. Or if you have a spiritual partner, if you're as lucky as I am, if you have a partner, or if you have a spiritual friend, if you have any holy relationship in your life,
someone you trust
talk
that
with them,
can look at you, help you see yourself. Yeah.
And they can help you to really, when that fear does come up, they can help you to sort through it. So
great. Well, there you go.
Let us know.
That was
Leave
great.
us a comment.
Conscious Coffee. We did it.
To 2020.
2020. Cheers.
Bye.